Here we have Terppaa's account, guys. Terppaa is another client, and we're going to go through his account, the befores and the afters, and just have an account review, and then what we're going to be changing. You know the drill, guys. The first thing we do is check on the tech. Now, the tech is the most important because, you know, even if they want to be a tank account, if they have 0 tank tech and all in artillery, there's no point in doing such a thing. So let's jump in here and take a look at the advanced tech. So we can see instantly has some decent tech here for the infantry, almost towards the end, and obviously definitely has a nice solid start here. Moving on to the tanks, hasn't been touched. Moving on to artillery, as we can see here, it is completely maxed. And then air tech is, you know, has really been started. So he is primarily an artillery with some infantry account. Moving on to the modern tech. So the modern tech, again, infantry almost halfway, looking very clean here. Tank tech, obviously, I'm assuming nothing. Same with the air tech, yep, nothing. But artillery is also maxed. Perfect. So we have a maxed artillery and secondary of infantry that is being worked on. Now, as most of you know, I'm personally advised to go down air tech secondary because, you know, air tech is very, very important, especially at this stage in the game. But if you haven't done so, it isn't a problem at the end of the day. Obviously, you've got to hope that your alliance are able to cover you. So with that, guys, I'm going to look in now to the Dominion Corp. The Dominion Corp is also very nicely done all the way up here, basically getting ready to go into phase 2. So yeah, as soon as he gets some more tickets, he will be able to jump on in. He's 2 away from completing phase 1. So really good start here on the Dominion Corp. And then we also have Advanced City Defense. Advanced City Defense is actually a very huge amount done here. Now, I advise people normally just to go to this base HP as a starting. You know, it's a very good, solid option. But he's got all the way up now to the end. He's even managed to get himself to 20% on the second HP. And I'm assuming he probably will go towards completing it. So yeah, the advanced city defense is very good. But does that mean he has a very defense-focused account? I'm not too sure. Let's check it out. So jumping on here, we're going to instantly look at the army. So starting off, I'm seeing a mixed match of things here. I'm seeing some 9.0s gone over the 9.0, and I'm also seeing some that are under 9.0. If we look at the Air Force, doesn't currently have an Air Force. He has, you know, bomber officers on a fighter, so doesn't have any air. And then Naval. Okay, Naval is also looking kind of done. Personally, I think the Tide Watcher is better to be on the GMD other than this guy. But again, it's still going to be perfectly fine. The only thing I'm noticing as well that this unit here is maxed out, but for some reason these two here aren't. So maybe they aren't able to do it. Let's check out what's going on. So straight away, I'm seeing that this unit here is at 9.2, meaning that it could theoretically boost this one up to 9.0, 100%. Same as over here. Let's have a look. It doesn't have the required blueprints there. So I'm assuming that's because this one is in over here. Obviously, we've got some 9.0s. Maybe they just don't have the available things. If we go in now to sort of here and have a look at what they're sort of crafting, you know, yeah, it does look like it's got a lot of units here that could be transferred. I mean, this one alone, you know, definitely could get rid of that potentially to be able to make the pre-existing units. I'm also noticing, obviously, he's got a lot of these 6-star units that could easily go into 6.1s to then make 7 stars. So I'm not too sure what is going on here. Obviously, we'll get the bigger picture. Eventually, I'll ask some questions. But obviously, moving forward, I think that's something possible we could do to get that infantry and also the AD up to its like desired max level. So first thing first, I want to look at is the officers he's got. So he currently has 2 offensive, you know, siege units. He's got Lady Liberty with Futurus. He's got Yardbird with Vantanina. And then we can also see here, he does have a third Howie here, which has Flame and Steel Fighter. So definitely a mixture of units there. 2 5 grids. Now, I have checked. He does not have Eye of Providence, guys. So because he doesn't have Eye, you know, I'm assuming that he's not interested in getting this officer. I have noticed here, though, he is very close, you know, very, very close here to getting Lady Shadow. He's 300 statues away from getting Lady Shadow. Red Heat has been worked on. Currently has at level 5 on here, and then the others are slowly but surely going to be getting worked on. I'm assuming this is who he's going to be currently upgrading. But I also see that Silent Thunder's being worked on. So again, they're not sticking to one thing, and I think we're going to have to try and discover what it is that they're trying to achieve here. So moving on, obviously, just going through, I can see that most of the, skill training hasn't really been used here, but that's definitely something we can work towards moving forward. No, is there skill training on this one? You started to work on this one. I think that's one thing, is skill training is always going to be the hardest thing to work with. This is at level 3. So yeah, just moving on and looking through the different sort of skills is kind of just getting an understanding as to the different available officers that we're going to have. So, we're going to work our magic. We're going to try and re-switch around some things here, and we'll be back with you as soon as we've got this sorted. So we're back, guys, after going through the account, looking at the things we can switch and how we can set it up. We have actually managed to get some decent progress here on the unit. So all units are now at a nice equal 9-star. Obviously, he is currently in gold 3, but as we know, at the moment of me doing this, the presets will actually end up changing soon due to the updated gold 4 battlefield coming out. But as of right now, obviously, he is currently gold 3, which means he has 9-star units. So we've managed to obviously go through here and get everything sorted. Now, obviously, he doesn't have any air officers right now whatsoever, but he also just doesn't have a modern bomber, meaning there's no point putting a 7.2 bomber there. It's not going to do anything. And to be fair, there's no point in him using his air at all, because even the fighter isn't going to do nothing. Now, the Navy is definitely looking good. Right now, he has 2 maxed out units. The only thing that's not maxed on there technically right now is going to be the wrenches. One of them is at 100, the other is at 2920. So he's very close to being able to almost max out one of them, and then he'll be able to slowly move on to working on the next one. Now, the next thing here, we have got 3 artillery pieces and 2 infantry. Now, I have obviously mentioned to him, noticing that he has a super heavy here. He doesn't have any tech. He is going to think about, obviously, where he wants to put that, whether it be another infantry unit, which I personally don't think is very worth it. I've said that, especially he's mentioned defense. He wants his defense to be improved a little. So if he wants to improve the defense, he could go towards getting a 7.2 ATG, meaning during the defense, he'll be able to have a much bigger and improved version of that. So what we swapped around for now, guys, is this is in the defense. In my personal opinion, if he had an ATG in this situation, it would be a lot better. But again, he doesn't as of right now, which means currently we're kind of set to having sort of this sort of weird, it is a very weird setup in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, for defense, I don't think that this account, as much as the tech is built for defense, the officers he has are not built for defense. He doesn't have Stinger, unfortunately. He's very close to Lady Shadow, so that could be a potential ATG officer eventually, but he doesn't have Stinger. He doesn't have, obviously, Red Heat. He's started working on her. The only other thing is he mostly has, like, Yardbird, Futurist. Like, these are offense officers, and, he's got an extra 5 grid range officer. This is pretty much the only defense officer he has that's really crazy, along with Flame, hence why I've put Flame with her. The only reason we decided to change out here for Maestro is so we can get the, a little bit of extra damage reduction to their units, and I've even double trained it so that we get 30% reduction along with hers, which means we get a total here of 55% reduction. And then also you do have some reduction coming in from Golden Eagle here. So overall, it's just going to be a nice bit of, obviously, reduction for the enemy unit that's tanking. But overall, there isn't really much change between the offense and defense. So as you can see right now, this is the defense. But on the offense, we've kind of just kept the 5 grids. We've switched around the infantry officers to be more, offense focused, and then sort of that defense hybrid. And then overall, guys, I think until he awakens Shadow, obviously once we get Shadow, guys, that would definitely come into the lineup when it goes down to just pure output of damage towards bases. But yeah, it's looking good. As I said, I've mentioned some things to him in regards to potentially new officers. Save up your statues, because again, even if you have a look here, he just does not have the skill training. It's only level 2, level 3. He just doesn't have the available skill training, unfortunately. So if he does obviously keep saving statues, we can then slowly but surely work towards the skill training, slowly but surely work towards new officers that are going to be coming out instead of working on old officers. This stage in the game, guys, saving your statues, working towards those new officers is going to be key, in my personal opinion. You know, skill training is fine to get in between, but other than that, saving for those new officers is quite honestly a better option than always working on an older officer that's been out for a little while. So with that, I do think obviously there are some small key areas he can work on here, but it's definitely a good start. It's been a while since I've worked on infantry officers, so it was nice to refresh my mind as well with how to pair these officers up. So shout out to NKD's friend who helped me there a little bit. But guys, I hope that obviously Terppaa here will be able to just see a little bit of improvement with the skill training. You know, as soon as he's got them saved up, I'll be coming back to help him with improving that a little bit further down the line. And if there is anyone who's watching this video who would also love to have some one-on-one coaching, see where your account is at, how it can be improved in the future, have your setup reorganized to be the best it possibly can be, feel free to reach out to me. The link down below if you want to come join the Discord and find out more information on the coaching, or if you just want to sign up an application form, that link is also down below. As always, I appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.